July 13th, 2002. Lord's, London, the hallowed home of cricket. On this golden evening, India wasn't just hunting for a trophy. They were searching for respect, for belief, for a seismic shift in identity. For too long, Indian cricket had played second fiddle in distant lands, sometimes talented, often hopeful, rarely fearless. But tonight, everything was about to change. When Sourav Ganguly, audacious and defiant, waved his shirt high on the Lord's balcony, the gesture was more than joy. It was a declaration, a promise. Indian cricket had found its voice. This is the story of the NatWest final, the game that rewrote India's destiny. The first half was England's party. Marcus Trescothick blazed away. Nasser Hussain, dogged and determined, joined in. Boundaries like fireworks, partnerships like fortresses. No bowler was spared. India toiled, and when 50 overs were done, the numbers on the board were a mountain: 325. In 2002, chasing 325 in an ODI at Lord's of all places was beyond daunting. Commentators whispered, unchaseable. Fans swapped hope for resignation. The hosts, ever confident, believed the cup already belonged to them, but numbers can't measure belief. And inside the Indian dressing room, something electric was stirring. India's chase began not with caution, but with fire. Sehwag and Ganguly, the Sultan of Multan and the Prince of Calcutta, strode out with purpose. The first over delivered boundaries. Momentum crackled. Scoreboard raced. 50, then 100. Just 14 overs in. England looked rattled. Ganguly smashed, Sehwag sliced. For a fleeting moment, every fan dared to dream. But cricket, in all its cruelty, loves uncertainty. Dreams are delicate. And then, collapse. Sehwag fell. Ganguly followed. In no time, the middle order crumbled. 106 for 0 became 146 for 5. The balcony was graveyard silent. England fans sang in triumph. India's miracle chase was on life support. But then, two unlikely heroes stepped in. Mohammad Kaif and Yuvraj Singh. Not yet legends, just young men. Kaif, studious and quietly determined. Yuvraj, exuberant, raw, barely 20. The weight of a billion dreams rested on their bats and on their nerves. What followed was not just cricket but rebellion. Yuvraj Singh met pressure with bravado. Cover drives, flicks, boundaries against the odds. At the other end, Kaif was the anchor. Composed, clever, never letting the belief die. Every run was resistance. Each boundary, an act of defiance. 50-run partnership. Then 100, then 121. Suddenly, the impossible was within reach. The balcony leaned forward. The crowd shuffled nervously. India was writing a new script. Cruel fate struck again. Yuvraj, playing the innings of his life, fell for 69. England pounced. India still needed 60. The tail stood exposed and vulnerable. But Kaif, unstoppable. With Baji, with Kumbal, with Zahir Khan, he refused surrender. Punch by punch, run by run, India clawed closer. Singles turned to boundaries, dreams turned to reality. Until 2 runs were needed, 3 balls left. Zahir Khan faced, nudged to mid-wicket. They ran. Scoreboard flashed victory. India had done the unimaginable. The celebration was instant and legendary. Ganguly at the balcony, shirt in hand, swung it triumphantly above his head. Rules, broken, tradition, ignored. But for millions, that wild gesture was the birth of a new attitude. At Lord's, the very cradle of cricket's decorum, a bold new India announced itself to the world. Not shy, not apologetic, but proud and recklessly hopeful. It was more than a trophy. It was an uprising. A moment that echoed in every heart and every cricket ground across the country. Years have passed, and the NatWest final still stands tall. Not as another ODI, but as India's turning point. A match that gave young blood like Kaif and Yuvraj their place among the stars. A night that handed Ganguly his crown, not just for leading, but for teaching India how to dream, how to defy, how to win on foreign soil. It gave fans something deeper. Belief that glory was no longer a gift for others. It belonged to India too. Many finals have glittered at Lord's. Many celebrations have echoed in its grandstands, but very few moments changed the DNA of a nation. July 13, 2002, NatWest final was one of them. Indian cricket that day found its roar.